This is it. It seems like everything has been building up to this moment. An entire generation has gone by, and now, in the world that Alana made, we have Alana's daughter, the Chosen One. And the Chosen One is?
Bored! The Chosen One is very bored. And she's not necessarily the Chosen One, per se.
Come on! Her mother is Alana, the Lioness, champion of the realm and handmaiden to the great Mother Goddess. Her father is Baron George Cooper of Pirate Swoop, former King of Thieves and the King's Shadow Spy Master. She was raised at the knees of Queen Theot, former commander of the Queen's Riders, and King Jonathan, keeper of the Dominion Jewel. She was instructed by Numair Salmaline, a black robe mage, and entertained by Virilidane Sarasi, a demigod and daughter of Wirren the Hunt God and the Green Lady. If she's not the Chosen One, I don't know who is.
That doesn't necessarily mean she's the Chosen One.
Come on! The title of the book is literally Trickster's Choice. Trickster being a god. The title translates to The Trickster's Chosen One. Oh.
Where are you going?
Pull it out. Of course it's in my bag and I'm not freaking mashed up. But yeah, that's life. Okay. Look at this. This is the God's Dictionary. And if we turn to the Chosen One, right here, Chosen One, Allie's picture.
Oh, if you look at that.
Yeah. So where were we?
Bored!
Yeah. The Chosen One is bored.
Allie has grown up under the wing of some of the most incredible people in Tortle. And it's left her with certain expectations. Most people her age bore her, and forget about love. No boy can keep up with her.
Allie is her father's daughter. Since Alana is King's champion, George did most of the child rearing, meaning that her education was slightly skewed.
Now that we're family, I can make it up to you. I can be the ultimate dad.
Well, okay, maybe not that skewed. But in the years since he retired from being the King of Thieves, George has been the King's Shadow Spy Master and primary caregiver to Alan, Tom, and Allie-Ann. That means instead of sitting the kids down in front of the butter churn like most parents would have done, George taught his daughter spy tactics.
So naturally, her parents are just astounded when career day comes along and she decides she wants to be a spy. But I mean, like, how did they not see that coming?
No, I don't know what I expected.
Allie also has a bit of a strained relationship with her mother, Alana. Alana wants Allie to find her place in life, but she doesn't want it to be doing dangerous spy work. Says the woman who's a knight. That's not dangerous. No. But if you're looking for a metaphor for what it's like to be a 20-something in today's job market, you don't have to look further than Allie. Skilled, talented, full of new ideas. And no one wants to give her a job doing what she wants to do. Oh sure, you can be a waitress or shovel papers, but the second you want to edit film, there are just no jobs available. Not here.
Lucky for her, the gods have been doing a little organizational reshuffling halfway across the world.
Long story, incredibly short, Kyprioth, god of the Copper Isle, and its natives were defeated by Mithros and the Mother Goddess. Little pissed off about that, especially after his people, the Raka, were enslaved by the white people, aka the Lurians. He's been biding his time for a couple of 100 years, but why has he popped his head out of the metaphorical sand now? Well, the old Raka royal family line is now secretly mixed with the Lurian royal blood, and it's revolution time.
Cue Allie secretly caring for the new contenders to the throne, while also working with the Raka conspirators to help them rebel. Slight difficulties though. Number 1, the family she's caring for, the Ballatangs, are currently out of favor with the royal family who make the Lannisters look like a basket of Chihuahua puppies. Number 2, the Ballatangs also think she's working for the wrong god. And number 3 was, oh yeah, she's been made a slave.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Allie has made a wager with Kyprioth. If Allie can keep the Ballatangs alive for 1 more year, he'll convince her father to let her be a spy.
And of course it's easier said than done, but that's really just the nature of a well-done plot. The queen-to-be is Sarai. She's impetuous and lovely, and she has a younger sister named Dove, who's quiet and observant.
The two girls work well off of one another, and as expected, are so well developed that they're practically holographic. They show off different versions of female strength and blah 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 blah. How many times do I have to say that Pierce's characters all exemplify some of the best well-rounded female characters we've ever seen? I'm getting really tired of that line.
And I'm getting really tired of having to gush over her love interests every time. These damn butterflies in my stomach are getting uncomfortable.
But no what?
I know, right? I mean, who would have thought a crow turned into a man would be so damn adorable?
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
You see, Kipperuth made a wager with the crows, betting that they can't keep Allie and the Ballatangs safe for an entire year. One crow gets a little bit curious about human life and turns into a human, and then falls a little bit in love with Allie.
Except that he does approach love the way a crow would. Allie finished her breakfast when she heard the thump of bare feet on the rock just behind her. Resting a hand on her leg knife, she looked back. Nawat crouched on the rock, smiling at her. "Would you like a grub?" he asked, offering a plump one. "I got it just for you." Allie struggled to think of a diplomatic reply. "We humans don't eat grubs." Remembering stories she heard from some of her father's agents, she added, "Not when we don't have to, anyway." "But these are juicy and filling," Nawat assured her. "I saved the best of them." Allie gulped. Her breakfast bread and cheese rolled in her belly. "Let the grub live to make other grubs," she suggested. Nawat sighed. "It's hard to mate feed someone who will not eat." "We're not to the mate feeding stage," she informed Nawat lazily. "We barely even know each other." "What if I filled my mouth pouch and spilled it for you?" Nawat asked. "Would you take food that way?" "I would lose food that way. I'd throw it up," Allie retorted, amused and nauseated at the same time. "Aren't you supposed to be making arrows?" But once again, Tamora Pierce proves that she's blah blah, God among authors, imagination guru. She just writes a damn good plot, okay?
But this time, instead of adventure or a Bildungsroman, we have a political thriller-esque novel full of back and forth spying, sabotage, misdirection, and cleverly placed rumors. There's no real big bad by the time you get to the second book. It's more along the lines of, we're sticking it to the man, the Regency.
Even the villain in the first book is minor in a lot of ways. He's really just trying to use the Ballatangs for his own gain, and he's just the right amount of charm and asshole that you kind of just fall into his trap even though you know you probably shouldn't. And sometimes I think we don't see enough of those villains.
Allie, like all the heroines that came before her, is a treat. She's enjoying her youth, but she's not irresponsible. She's good at what she does, but she makes a few mistakes. Actually, she makes a lot of mistakes.
I mean, who hasn't made mistakes? I once French kissed a dog at a party to try to impress what turned out to be a very tall 12-year-old.
Even Kyprioth the trickster god is a lot of fun, playing off Allie's sass in a way that you know the other gods wouldn't. And for all Pierce's excellent plot and good character, she really does give a giant kick to the themes in these novels.
The books are full of reflections on the slave trade and colonialism, pointing out things like the way the conquering culture appropriates the myths and symbols of the old culture to help support and legitimize their claim to the land, or ways someone in the slave class is considered blind and deaf when it comes to the discussion of personal and private matters.
Even better, she doesn't shy away from the sacrifices and loss that would come from a giant cultural revolution. Sometimes even a child king has to go for the good of the country.
By the time you hit the end of The Daughter of the Lioness, you feel as if everything has come full circle. What started with Alana asserting that she can have adventures just like any other boy results in a person like Allie, raised to believe that she can do anything she wants, inspiring other women to do the same, and getting ready to raise her children on the myths and legends of the previous generation.
I can't believe it's over.
Well, you've told me it's not. She's writing other books. There's the Marv Dunlap one, Kelleher Squire, Numair's Childhood.
No, I mean the Tamora Pierce so-styled month. We just read 14 friggin' books. You suggested we read 14 freaking books, you crazy son of a bitch! I just need to let